Welcome everyone back to the UK Journeyman. In today's episode, we are away to Newcastle and then away to Mansfield in the Premier League. We are visiting our old club in the second fixture. Since you last left us, we have continued on in the leagues. Obviously, we won the first two games. We then unfortunately lost to Spurs 2-0, but we followed that up with a big 5-0 win over Brentford. We then beat Liverpool 1-0 in the league, but then weirdly lost 4-2 to Crystal Palace and had a 2-2 away draw to Aston Villa. So a bit of a poor result there. We are still in the League Cup. We did actually play Mansfield. Excuse me, just had my tea. We did actually play Mansfield away from home already this season in the League Cup. We did beat St. Pat's, who was a League of Ireland team in the Conference League playoff. We actually only beat them 5-0 over two legs, which was a little bit surprising. We have played our first game in the league phase. We rotated the team. We only got a 1-1 draw away to Karat, who are a team from Kazakhstan. But it's a long way to go. The lads were probably tired. We all know how weird the long away trips are. So we are in the league phase. I would expect us to get into the top 8. That's got to be the goal. For that, we're still wanting to win the Prem. We want to still win a league or an FA Cup. So we're still very much in it. We are 2 points off top, and we do start the episode with a chance to potentially go top because we do play top of the league, Newcastle. This is the team we're going with to try and do that. We've got Towers in goal, back four of Malik, Estrada, Malik, Tor, and Marty. Charles and Ngoma in midfield. Jakob on the right, Mora on the left, and Mua and Garcia up top. Paddy Mua, since he's come in, has been very, very good. 5 goals in 6 in the league. He is very much a top player. As you can see, Jakob is still our top goal scorer. He's got 6 in 7 in the league, plus 2 assists. And Mora has actually turned into quite a good little left winger as well. 5 goals, 3 assists. So we are scoring plenty and plenty of goals. The only issue is we are also conceding it. But as you can see from the average ratings, things are going very, very well. Patrak, unfortunately, has picked up a knock, though, which saw him lose out to the last couple games, which is when really the form has started to dip a little bit. So, unfortunately, we are suffering the consequences of that. But yeah, hopefully we can get back to winning ways today. We've not won in 2 league games, so we have got a tough test against top of the league Newcastle to try and correct that. But yeah, we are doing much better this season than when we were obviously taking over last season. There is the Newcastle side, still a pretty familiar Newcastle side, or at least pretty familiar players still. But yeah, we are definitely doing better. I think the new signings are starting to gel as well, which is good. I mean, there wasn't it wasn't a big wait, to be honest, for them to gel. But it is, yeah, it's starting to go quite good. Marty obviously playing on the left back. I think Patrick has definitely been the best player, to be honest, in terms of fullbacks. A lot of assists have come from him. Malik is definitely more of a defensive fullback, should we say. He doesn't really contribute too much going forward. In terms of where we need to improve to get even more out of this side, it's definitely centre-back. And that's pretty much, a good use case, a good example of why it's what we need to do. VAR are checking it, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with it, and there is nothing wrong with it. We are 1-0 down away from home. Estrada's good. I don't mind him, but the other 2 centre-backs, Tor and Delict, they're just not good enough. And also Estrada probably isn't good enough. He'd be best off being like 3rd choice centre-back. So we definitely need some better centre-backs. I think the goalkeeper's fine. I think he's just got the defence in front of him isn't good enough. And I think it's centre-half. That's got to be offside. Ramsey threw on goal, and he's just about got it. And I think, I'm not sure who blocked it, or maybe there was no block at all, but Malik just clears it into touch. But it's so poor. It's a ball over the top, and that's what's doing us a lot. Estrada is not the fastest centre-back, so I think that's the main issue, is that we just don't have any quick centre-backs. And they're too flat-footed a lot, and we just get caught out by pace and physicality more than we do like technical defending. It's more balls over the top, quick passes in behind. We're too slow, and obviously we are playing not the highest of lines, but we are slightly higher up, so it does obviously leave us a little bit open to that. We are an attacking side. We're not sitting in a low block, so we can't just, obviously I think for these centre-backs, the ideal would be to just sit in a low block and try and counter, but we're an attacking side, and I think that's obviously one of the things we've played the whole save is an attacking formation, at least for the majority of the save. Anyway, at least since Limavady, we've been in an attacking formation, and that's obviously one of the things that Man United have probably wanted us to come into the job for, because we are that attacking side. But it's 46 minutes on the clock. The halftime whistle must be about to go, but Newcastle have themselves a corner, and they've played it out to Ramsey, and that's a good save from Torres. You'd think the whistle would have just gone for halftime, but that is a good save from Torres. Keeps us in the tie, and we are 1-0 down at the half. Not really seeing much from us going forward. Obviously, on the stats, you can see there's been a little bit of something, but nothing really to sink our teeth into. I'm still wondering where's the best position for Moore, because we've tried him as the channel forward, we've tried him as the deep line forward, and I'm not really sure which is best. I think he's probably better off as the deep line forward, but so I guess we'll leave it as is. But yeah, I'm not sure which one's best for him, because he's quick, he's good. I think he's better off as the channel forward, in all honesty. I think he's better on the left-hand side, and Garcia as the deep line forward, who's a bit bigger. But Garcia's been okay. He's definitely not been as good as the rest. So there's definitely a chance for another striker to come in alongside Moore. But we're going to bring Etta Eyong on for Garcia, who's not having a very good game. Jakob's not playing very well either. Obviously, we don't really have another good right mid at the minute. So Milot's going to come on for him, and then Shea Charles will come off for Jose, who you may not have seen just yet. Jose, obviously, one of the free midfielders we were able to bring in, obviously, along with Milot. He was another freebie. So we've been able to bring some frees in, and they've done well to pad out the squad, but they've not been, regular starters. Jose probably needs a lot more game time to get match fit as well. But this has definitely not been... it seems like without Patrick, he's a big part of the creativity. Marty's obviously right-footed as well, so that doesn't really help playing on the left. And then Malik is just really, really not an attacking fullback. So we were getting a lot of goals from the fullbacks, and it's definitely gone a little bit sour. We are still third, obviously. Voltemade going very close to getting a second, but yeah, we are still third. So you can't say we're doing terrible, but we definitely could be doing a lot worse. But the board really only want us to get mid-table. We'll bring Borges Saints on as well. We do have young Chris Gray, who I've added to the squad, mostly to play in the Europa Conference League, just to bring him off the bench in the Conference League and any League Cup games, FA Cup, that kind of stuff. Not really to bring him on in the league games, because I think obviously he's probably not really ready to be playing Premier League football. He's still shown as a National League player, but he is getting better. He is improving. The one thing we have to be careful with Borges Sainz is he does have a extension on his contract if he plays so many games, and obviously he's someone we probably don't want for more than a season. He's probably not really good enough now that we've actually signed him. But Magoma is there. Borges Sainz plays it to Moore, and Jose goes for an effort. It hits the bar. This is where I want to see Paddy Moore turning his man. We've paid a lot of money for him, and he has scored plenty of goals, but there is games, especially what I've noticed is when we play the better sides, he really does go missing a little bit. He's not been as good when we played like Tottenham or when we played Liverpool or when we've played Spurs today. He's definitely better against the weaker sides. He's one of them where he'll score 2 or 3 against them, but never score against the good sides, and then it makes his stats look like he scores every game, but he doesn't score every game. He just scores a lot against the weak sides, and we are 2-0 down, and that is probably job done. There is still definitely a good bit of work to do on this Man United side to get us back to winning a league title. Obviously, the goal this season is really just to get back in Europe. We've just about got ourselves into the Conference League, obviously finishing 8th, but realistically, we should be a Champions League side, should I say. We do need to get back in the Champions League to try and actually achieve the goal of this save, which is to win the Champions League. Obviously, winning the Prem would be brilliant. It'd be lovely, but that's not the ultimate goal. We'll give Chris Gray, 5 minutes. We'll bring Paddy Moore on, who's had a bit of a shocker. He's definitely going to start getting some criticism, though, because, like I say, we have paid a lot of money for Paddy Moore, and if he couldn't turn up in big games, ultimately, it's going to be a bit of a waste of money. I've got question marks over the goalkeeper as well. I mean, he shows up like he's quite good, but I've not really seen him be very, very good in a lot of games. He has definitely kept us in some games, but yeah, that was a very poor showing for us. That's a 3rd league game without a win. And whilst we have had a very good start to the season, ultimately, it's starting to go a little bit sour, and I'm a little bit concerned we're not really good enough for top 4, which is where we definitely need to go to. But we've got a couple days rest, but we're back at it against our old side, who are currently sitting 13th, so a little bit of an easier game. But we're definitely looking like we're going to struggle to be in a title challenge. But top 4 could still happen. But there's a lot of teams around us trying to do the same thing. So we'll go play Mansfield, and hopefully we can get a better result. So for the second game of the episode, it is the one we were waiting for. It's away to our old club, and this is the team we're going with. It's the same back line, except the Ligt comes in for Malik Tor because he's picked up a knock in training. He's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. The same midfield and the same attack, except for Etta Young comes in for Garcia, who, looking at it, hasn't actually scored a league goal yet. His goals have only came in the cup, it must have been. It must have scored somewhere. It says he's got 2 goals. It's not continental. It wasn't the league. No, that's 2 assists. My bad. It was, yes, he scored once in. I was looking at the assist column. He scored once in the cup and once in the Conference League as well. So we're not seeing the best out of him just yet. But this is so Etta Young comes back in, who I think has scored. No, he hasn't got a league goal yet. He scored 1. Also just in the Europa League. But we know he was good last season. Well, 6 goals in 28, not that good. Maybe we should have kept Hoyland, who knows. But we'll bring him back in, Etta Young. Hopefully give Garcia a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a mental break as well, to not put too much pressure on him. Because he's a young boy, he's obviously got the big potential, but at the minute we're not really seeing enough from him to be a starter for us. And obviously Delict just comes in. Patrick's still not fit. And Gray also ineligible because he was involved in another game, because we obviously don't want him to just be getting 10 minutes for us here and there. He needs to be playing full 90s for the under-18s as much as he can, alongside getting some minutes for us in the senior team. He trains with us but plays for them. So we are a little bit light on the bench, but hopefully it's not going to matter too much as we do go back to our old club. We give the fans a little bit of a clap pre-game because we know how much they probably appreciate the fact that we got them to the Premier League. Hopefully we don't get booed, but you never know. Obviously, football's weird. We could be getting booed because we left them. But we left them in a good spot. We'd left them with a bunch of new signings who seemingly are playing, like sort of Nicolas Suarez. For some reason, they've decided that Kalpa wasn't a good enough striker and they've signed a pastic Kai Havertz to play up front. This is the kind of dodgy decision-making that would not have gone on if I was at the club, but whoever's the steward of Mansfield now has decided that it's the best way forward, and Torres pulls off a pretty good save. I was slagging him off a little bit in the last game, but that was a very good save from the free kick, and we are in a bit of a difficult spot at the minute. We seem to get off to a really good flying start to the season, but now we've definitely dropped, and I don't know why. We haven't. I guess the only difference really is Patrick getting injured, which, if one left back getting injured destroys our form, that's actually more worrying than the form going down. It means that we're far too reliant on a single player. And that is a very good goal from Paddy Moore, but someone may have been offside in the build-up because the linesman's got his flag up. I didn't think there was any offside, but maybe there was. VAR are going to check it. VAR have disallowed it. Unfortunately, it won't stand, but it was a good finish, and that's what Paddy Moore is capable of against the slightly weaker sides. Obviously, Mansfield are probably a side looking to just stay up again. Mid-table for them would be a good finish. For us, we've got to be aiming higher. But hopefully we can start to do a little bit better. Good header from Estrada. Plays it to Etta Young, who plays it out to Mora. Needs to find an option. Paddy Moore into Etta Young. Finds Jakob on the turn. And Batista Jakob finishes. This time it's all good. It's all above board. And Jakob, who's definitely having a much better second season under us than he was the second half of the first season, because we obviously came in mid-January. We came in at the start of Jan, so mid-season. But he's definitely having a better season now, and it's lovely to see. He's definitely scoring a lot more goals. I think he's probably equaled his tally of goals already, what he got last time. One thing I was going to say as well, just regarding the episodes, apologies that they are a little bit more inconsistent at the minute. Again, with the Malden and Tiptree stuff, it takes a little bit longer to do those, and I haven't even got started on the next episode, so that's probably not going to come anytime soon. Work's just been really busy. Obviously, I don't do this as a full-time job. Obviously, if I could, I would, but I can't at the minute. Because obviously it just doesn't make anywhere near enough money to have it as a job. So I do still have a full-time job, other life responsibilities and what have you. It does make it a little bit hard and difficult sometimes to try and get these episodes out, but we're still getting episodes out every week, but it's not the 5 a week that I would like to do. Obviously, I try to get one out every weekday, but at the minute we're kind of doing more of a 2 or 3 a week, which isn't great for the algorithm. It's better to definitely have a consistent upload schedule. So if you can like, comment, all that stuff, it really does help push the video out. But yeah, apologies if episodes you're kind of waiting for one. 3 o'clock, obviously they come out every day. Well, they're meant to come out every day, every weekday at 3. Apologies if you are waiting for it and you don't see it. If you don't see it by 3, it's not coming out that day. So I can't really give you a better schedule than that, just because life is getting in the way. And one thing I've not been able to do this year is really get a backlog. Usually I get at least a week ahead, but I haven't been able to do that this year because it's just been so busy, and yeah, I've just not been able to get ahead on the video. So apologies for that. Maybe there'll be a period of time where hopefully I can do that, I can get ahead, but at the minute it is a little bit tough. But we are 2-0 up at half time anyway. I've just noticed Lee Carsley, former Everton man and former England manager as well, for a period of time it was, that is leading the Mansfield team now. But we are 2-0 up. You'll love to see it. And as you can see, Etta Eon getting on the score sheet. Definitely a good idea to bring him on. But we will give him a rest. We'll bring Garcia on now that we're winning. We want to try and get him some more goals. I think we'll bring Jose on as well, or Jose, for Ngoma to get him a bit more game time. And we will start the second half. But yeah, we're a lot better against the weaker sides. It's just we just seem we just seem to be a cut down from the top teams. But honestly, if we beat all of the teams we should beat, and then if we can get the odd result here and there against the bigger sides, we'll probably still end up in the top 4 anyway. But yeah, I think we're a bit of a weird side. It looks like Delict's having quite a good game as well. But it's obviously hard to judge how we play against Mansfield versus how we play against top of the league Newcastle. It's 2 very different levels of teams. So obviously we know this team from managing them that a lot of these are really just high-level Championship, low-level Premier League players. But it's nice to see Molina's there playing. Obviously, someone we brought in on loan and now in on permanent, so it's nice to see him playing. We'll bring Milot on for Shea Charles. He can obviously do a bit of everything, Milot. He can play in defensive mid, he can play in attack. We don't really have any defenders. I'd like to take some of these off. Malik's not having a great game, but yeah, I think of all the fullbacks we've signed, Patrak was the best one, really. Not loving Malik so far. I think we've perhaps overspent on him. Of all of them, I think he was the most expensive as well, if I remember rightly. So that's slightly worrying. But hopefully he can, come good. He can still improve. Obviously, we did sign fairly young players. Paddy Moore through on goal. What a finish. Good ball from Jose as well. Potentially, it could be offside again, though. I think VAR is going to look at it. VAR is checking it. But it's been awarded. Good goal from Paddy Moore. He's had a much better game. This is what I say about him. He seems to do well against against this level of team. But then when we play a really good side, he's not as good. But we're definitely good at putting a lot past the not very good sides. But we struggle to get one past the good side. So it's a little bit odd. But it is what it is. Malik into Moore, back to Malik, into Jose, edge of the box, and he goes for an effort. He's not afraid to shoot Jose. I don't mind it. But we do get a corner from the result. But obviously, nothing must have came from the highlight. We are dominating the match, and it's nice to see us be a little bit more defensively sound as well. A bit more control of the game as well. A lot more possession, pretty much dominated the stats. So very 2 different tales. Obviously, we really got outplayed by Newcastle, never really got in the game, even though we saw in the stats we must have had a couple efforts, but nothing really that astounding. Jose's lost the ball to Kai Havertz, who looks absolutely slow. So slow does Kai Havertz. He's probably going to score now. Kalpa's come on, my boy. One thing we were going to do was try and sign Kalpa as just someone who can just rotate, to be honest. Just a rotation striker, like a 4th choice striker, because he had that low release clause, but he did sign a new contract and his release clause went up to 50 million. So he's not worth 50 million. I think it was 8 million or something before. I'd happily paid that. He's not worth 50 million. So we didn't in the end go for Kalpa. I would have liked to bring him in, but yeah, it wasn't to be. But a 3-0 win is a good result. It actually gets us up to second. So even with the little bit of a bad run, we've done enough to still be at the top. It's definitely one of those leagues now where there's no front runner. There's no one who just goes out and wins every game. It's you're not going to get an unbeaten. Probably not going to get 100. I mean, look at last season. It was like 80 something points won the league. It's not going to be a 100-point season. If we look at, was it last season? Yeah, top of the league won with 80 points. So that's what we've got to be kind of going for. And so far, we're not doing a bad job. So just, we're not drawing a lot, but we've won a lot, which is good. So at least they've fixed this. This is good. They've actually fixed this where you hover over it, it actually shows you the results. So up to second, obviously there's quite a few teams with games in hand, so this will probably all figure itself out as the season goes on, but not a terrible start. We're still the top scorers in the league. We're just probably conceding a few too many, but that'll do it for today's episode. Where will we come back for? What will be a good place to come back? Probably Arsenal. Big match. I think that's a big rivalry for United, isn't it, Arsenal? So, yeah, I guess we'll come back for that. Don't think we've played Arsenal in the league anyway. So, yeah, we'll do that. Obviously, we've got quite a few games in between, but a lot of it's just Conference League, League Cup. It's only about 4 Premier League games in between, so we're not going too far ahead. But yeah, I think Arsenal, we'll come back for Arsenal, Birmingham, unless something else comes around that we can either do maybe before or after. I mean, we might play the Sheriff game instead. I don't know. But we'll definitely come back for Arsenal. We might do Sheriff as well, just to show you a Conference League game, just for something a little bit different. Unless we get in a League Cup, when we might progress in that and get a better League Cup game to go after it. But I think we'll come back for the Arsenal game and then one game either side of it. So that'll be next episode. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the UK Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.